Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to Astra, the daily current affairs. Today it is 11th of January 2024. Let's have a quick look at what are the current affairs that we have in today's newspaper. So for those students who are writing Andhra Pradesh State Public Service Commissions, this advertisement can be helpful. Right, Jagananna Todu supporting the street vendors. So this is like PM's Swanidhi that the central government has have. The state component of it is known as Jagananna Todu. Under this, it is helping the traders and artisans to become self-reliant, and it is giving interest-free loans up to 10,000 rupees per annum. And those who have taken the loans, if you are paying on time, you are going to get 1,000 rupees increment in each year, in addition to rupees 10,000 up to 13,000 as interest-free loans. So this is the thing. In addition to the interest reimbursement, 13.64 crores being provided today by the government of Y.S. Jagannath Reddy in the state of Andhra Pradesh. So far, a total of 3,373 crores worth interest-free loans have been disbursed to the traders and eligible beneficiaries under this scheme. So these are the things that we have as far as Jagannath Todu or the Pradhan Mantri Street Vendors Mission is considered. Under which ministry it will come? Ministry of Urban Affairs and Administration. Going into the next page, Shinde's faction is a real Sena. The Speaker of Maharashtra has confirmed that Shiva Sena belongs to Eknath Shinde's faction, given the number of people or the MLAs who are supporting the faction, and it is a huge setback to Uddhav Thackeray's faction. That is the thing that we have to identify. India is seen as the pillar of stability, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the recent summit at the Global Gujarat Vibrant Summit. In this context, this article is written. The world looks at India as an important pillar of stability, a friend who can be trusted, a partner who believes in people-centric development, a voice that believes in global good, and a voice of global south. It is considered as an engine of growth in the global economy, a technology hub for finding solutions, a powerhouse of talented youth, and a democracy that delivers. These are the things. This same can be used in answer writing in general studies. So Mallikarjun Kharge and Sonia Gandhi has decided to skip the event of the sacred inauguration of Ram Temple at taking place in Ayodhya on 22nd of January. So this is the thing that we have. So these are the front page news that is important for UPSC. Subsequently, if you look at the major things in the India from South, you don't find much things. So we have something called editorial. In the editorial, there is an editorial which speaks about a manifesto for justice that has sprung from crisis. Now this article speaks about, this is useful for our general answer writings in general studies, ethics as well as essay. So this is speaking about the democratic strife or the challenges that we are facing today in the country. We are seeing unemployment challenges, socio-cultural strifes, ecological collapse, and erosion of democratic values. And the last 5 years have seen worsening situation, and this is usually targeted by the unemployed people to draw their attention. And this was visualized in the latest attack of the parliament. Subsequently, the sinking of Joshimath and the dam burst in Sikkim, the conflict in Manipur, the attempt to stifle democratic voices by slapping false cases against the activists and journalists and lawyers who dare to speak up, and suspending of members of opposition in the parliament in an en masse or indicative of the growing malaise affecting India. So what are the challenges that we have in India today? So this was beautifully summarized by the author, Mr. Ashish Kothari. Subsequently, we are not only the one who are facing these type of challenges, unfortunately, even this is engulfing other parts of the world also. In this context, what is the hope that is going to revive? Hope lies in the many initiatives to resist the forces of destruction and to construct an alternative paths of meeting human needs and aspirations. Some of these come from government and businesses, many are from communities and collective individuals. So NGOs, self-help groups and civil activists are playing a very crucial role. In this context, the author is mentioning about a recent initiative of gathering of the people. On December 18th, 85 people's movements and civic society organizations released People's Manifesto for Justice, Equitable and Sustainable India, gathered under the national platform Vikalp Sangam, alternative conferences. These groups represent hundreds of initiatives working on ecological food production, decentralized water harvesting, management, community-based production. So how this Vikalp Sangam has helped in order to raise the voices during the times of fulfillment. This is what they have spoken. In about a decade, Vikalp Samham has convened over 30 physical assemblies, published 1500 stories of positive change, brought about a collective vision of India we want and advocated by policy changes. So Vikalp Sankalp is something which is a Sangam or a group of volunteers who have come forward in order to protect this. So in this context they have written, and they have written about how successful it is. So just remember what is the things that is happening in India, that is more than enough. Talmiz Ahmad, the former diplomat from West Asia belonging to India, has written an expanding Gaza war with no end game in sight. So this is speaking about what is happening in the Gaza conflict, and this is reverberating across all the states or all the regions in West Asia, and that is something which is really causing some trouble in the West Asia. Comfortable win. This is speaking about Sheikh Hasina, who is enjoying a popular support, and she must be more accommodative because she is holding the term for fourth year or fourth term successively, and she should be more conciliatory and accommodative if she has to build a democratic, prosperous Naya Bangladesh. And in this article, they have also spoken about Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina's history, or Sheikh Hasina's autobiography. If you look at this, or how Sheikh Hasina has been. So she lost her father during August 15, 1975 riots in Dhaka. Subsequently, she has faced the dictatorship of Muhammad Irshad. The next thing is when she was campaigning in the early 1990s or early 2000s, she was attacked by a grenade. So these are the things that she has seen. Successfully, she has come to power, and she has ensured that democracy is sustained. However, in the recent elections that has been taken place, one thing is very serious, that is called Sheikh Hasina not giving a chance for the opposition parties is one thing which is really at threat. Changes for the worse. This is regarding to the so-called India-Maldives relations. So in this context, we have already studied this. If you are interested, you can read this, but having a knowledge about India-West Asia or India-Maldives is important. A colonial discourse is on the wheel. This article is speaking about the so-called how Western colonial secularism is present and how India's majoritarianism is present. So this is speaking about the various majoritarian aspects of majority versus minority secularism aspects. So this can be used in Indian society. So the author has given various examples starting from the so-called Shabarimala temple verdict to the so-called the latest Bilkis Bano case, and in this context he is explaining how the country is wheeling under the so-called democratic norms. So these are the things, that is one thing that you can read. And then after a record 1111 NGOs got FCRA nod in 2023. In this year, only 30 have got clearances. So what is FCRA? Foreign Contributions Regulation Act 2010, and it is mandatory for all the NGOs to get registered in order to receive foreign donations. In the last 10 years, ministry data shows that there has been almost 3,300 associations which were given fresh NGO license. That is important. Opposition parties are claiming that democracy is in peril or in danger. This is what they said in the state of Maharashtra. This is the one. So if you go to the so-called again in Bhutan, so the Prime Minister of Bhutan, Mr. Shering Tobgay, has become the Prime Minister for the second time as the poll body confirms elections. So his party has won 2/3 of the seats in the election commissions that has been released, the reports this year. So this was the thing we have to see. So elections was dominated by serious economic challenges that called into question the Himalayan kingdom's long-standing policy of gross national happiness. This is important. The first country to go for gross national happiness measurement is the Kingdom of Bhutan, and in this context, this was highly challenged, whether this can be sustaining or not. That was the thing that they had. International Labour Organization recently has released a report known as World Employment and Social Outlook Report. In this context, ILO is saying that at the global level, unemployment is rising, and there is increasing inflation. As a result, the real wages is in the decline. Vibrant Gujarat Summit was held recently in Gujarat. So in this context, that article was written, not that important. Tea Association of India is facing some problems. In this context, they have given that we are going towards the dark phase again. So tea estates have seen the dark phase during 2002 to 2007, and the same thing is present now because of the stagnant prices, oversupply, widening gap between the demand and supply, and decreasing prices. Right? These are the basic problems that the Tea Association or Tea India is facing. Indian tea sector is facing. That can be used in answer writing as far as GS paper 3 is considered. Next one that we have is the laws around remission policy. This is regarding to the so-called the latest remissions that was granted by the Gujarat government that was subsequently not upheld by the Supreme Court. In this context, can the President of India or the Governor of a state can grant persons who are convicted of a crime? What does the Criminal Procedure Code provide? And why did the Supreme Court reverse the remissions granted to the convicts in Gil's case, Bano case? This was the thing that they have written. A very beautiful article. If you are interested, you can read. Why did North India fog heavily in last week of 2023? This was an article not important to that extent. So these are the things that we have in current affairs today. Thanks for joining, guys. Have a nice day.